All right. 10:25 Sunday. Horror movie recommendations. We're getting into the last week of this. All right. If you have Netflix, you want to watch this movie called The Monster. Now, I ain't never seen this movie, but it's in my queue, so it needs to be in your queue. It's about this girl and her mom. They're driving down the road. Boom, their car breaks down. Boom, a monster comes out. I don't know. It's made by A24. They make all these slow burn horror movies, so it's probably like a slow burn symbolism type of situation. Check it out. If you have Tubi, you need to check out The Howling 2, a.k.a. Howling 2, Your Sister's a Werewolf, a.k.a. Howling 2, Stirba, Werewolf Bitch. I'm not making that up. That's really an alternate title for the movie, Werewolf Bitch. This one is about a werewolf bitch who's trying to take over the world named Stirba. And it's got Christopher Lee in it for some reason. And it's got this really crazy, like, new wave, 80s, synth wave kind of band that plays in it the whole time. And it's a really good werewolf movie, but it is, dude, it's a mess, right? And Stirba, the actress who plays Stirba, was in all these, like, women in prison movies, like Chained Heat and shit. And, so she's just strutting around in, like, a leather dominatrix outfit, like, the whole fucking movie. I don't think there's any nudity in it, though. All right. If you have Hulu, you need to check out Lords of Chaos. Again, this is another movie I've never seen, but I know the story of Varg Vikernes, right? Varg Vikernes was a guitar player for a band called Mayhem. You're listening to his band, his other band, Burzum, right now. And back in the early 90s, late 80s, Norwegian black metal scene, they used to burn down churches, right? Like, they would burn down mad churches. And one of the craziest bands was Mayhem. And they have that name for a reason, because everything is just mayhem. Like, okay, their singer, his name was Death. He shot himself in the head, like blew his head off. And so their guitar player came and took a picture of it and made it their album cover. And it's not like a little hole through his head. It's like his whole shits is blown off. And they took a picture of it, made it their album cover. And then all the different black metal bands in the area, Mayhem, Immortal, right? I can't think of the one with the other guy. But Emperor, they used to meet in this secret coven, and they all have necklaces with a piece of Death's skull on it for fucking power. And then Varg burned down a church, like 3 churches he's in trouble for. There was this documentary about heavy metal that was made in 1999, something like that. I can't remember the fucking name of it. It saved my life. It was like a history of heavy metal, and they met with this dude. His name was Gaahl, right? Because they all have these names like Gaahl and Abath and, Skull Ripper. They met with they met with Gaahl, and they're like, What do you think about these church burnings? And he like swishes, like he's drinking. You got to look it up. Gaahl talking about church burnings, or you can go to YouTube and you can type in Gaahl Satan, because the person says, what is the main inspiration to your music? And he's sitting there with this, like, chalice full of wine, although it looks like blood, and he looks like a fucking vampire. And he goes, what is the inspiration to your music? And he's like, he thinks about it for a second. And he looks right at the guy, and he goes, Satan. And he drinks his stuff. And when they ask him about the church burnings, he's like, there needs to be more of them. We need to root out every remnant of Christianity from the world. And it's like, what the fuck? So anyways, Varg Vikernes, a.k.a. Burzum, right? He fucking, he got pissed at his bass player. So he killed his bass player, right? And he got in trouble for murdering his bass player. And I think his name was Euronymous, something like that. I gotta Google it. Yeah, Euronymous. He shot Euronymous, killed him. Oh no, he stabbed him to death. What am I thinking about? Death shot his head off. Euronymous was stabbed to death by Varg. So Varg got put in jail for stabbing Euronymous and burning down 3 churches. And he made this music while he was in jail. And in Norway, if you murder somebody, stab them to death, and then, you know, you burn down 3 churches, you only go to jail for 15 years and you get synthesizers to make music anyway. Anyways, Hulu, Lords of Chaos. I've never seen the movie, but you can clearly tell I know what the movie's about. I hope they just keep it straight up and down. If they exaggerate a little bit, that would be cool too. But Lords of Chaos is about basically the band Mayhem and everything that happened with Death blowing his head off and Varg stabbing Euronymous and all this stuff. Like, I don't think it has Gaahl in it. I know it doesn't have Abath in it. But yeah, definitely look up that heavy metal documentary. I can't remember what it's called, but you just type in Gaahl, Satan, Gaahl on church burnings. It'll come up and you'll be like, well, who the fuck is this vampire? All right. The number 1 movie you need to watch tonight. I took a little bit too much time on the Norwegian death metal. All right. The number 1 movie you need to watch tonight is on Amazon Prime, and that is one of the scariest movies I have ever seen in my entire life, The Taking of Deborah, Logan. It's a found footage horror movie, and you're like, oh man, I don't like this stupid found footage horror movies. Listen, these people are doing this documentary on dementia and old age, okay? So they go to this house, and there's this old woman that they're studying her for a dementia study, but it really turns out that she's possessed by a snake demon, right? And everything starts getting crazy, and she pops up on the thing, and she's floating in the thing, and she's ripping at the dirt, right? And then the snake's coming out, and then she finds the kid. She takes the kid to the cave, and then she tries to eat the whole kid's fucking head. And then, you know, my wife gets super freaked out about horror movies. Like, the best thing in the world is watching movies with her because she gets super animated and she screams and she yells at the TV. She gets very nervous. And so we were laying in the bed after watching this movie, and we had this back door at the time, which would sometimes blow open in the high winds for some dumb reason. It would just, like, it was high winds out. So it's just like, I gotta go lock the back door. She gets out of the bed at like middle of the night, and she starts walking through the dark kitchen to go lock the door. And I go, watch out for snake, Grandma. And she goes, nope, fuck it, fuck you, fuck these dogs. And she just jumped right back in the fucking bed. So that movie is like forever known in my house and my family as Snake Grandma. So that's on Amazon Prime. Check that out. As far as what I'm watching tonight, I'm watching Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection. One of them has got Josh Hartnett in it. One of them has got Busta Rhymes. But for you, Netflix, watch About the Monster. On Tubi, watch The Howling 2, Werewolf Bitch with the Werewolf Bitch. On Hulu, check out Lords of Chaos. Do yourself a favor, listen to some music by Mayhem. Listen to some Burzum, especially like his 2 records where he made in jail. And you know, watch that heavy metal documentary so you can see Gaahl just What influences your music? Satan. And the number one movie, Snake Grandma, a.k.a. The Taking of Deborah Logan, on Amazon Prime. This is the last week of this coming up. I have a few more movies to recommend, some classics, some new classics, some more snake movies, and, stay tuned, come back for more. Peace.